Hi, my name is Cameron Miller, coming to you from Trinity Place in Geneva, New York. Today is the Feast of Pentecost, which is a red letter day on the church calendar that we enter into with Thanksgiving. So, there is a thing I have no idea how to describe. A thing that is so vital and so life-giving, I cannot imagine how to live without it, though some people do. Surely you have something like that, right? Something so dear to you that life without it would be grievous, and yet you don't really know how to describe it. If you're an artist or participate in art, a musician, painter, sculptor, ceramicist, dancer, writer, poet, weaver, quilter, then you may have tried to capture this thing somehow in your art, but I'm betting that you fell short. Beauty is like that. I mean, true beauty. Beauty can take your breath away, right? When you see something material emanating a kind of a presence from it that triggers a rapid heartbeat or a widening of the eyes or an expansion of the mind, then it may be something that we call beauty. And like so many things, we domesticate beauty to daily use, and it kind of dulls our senses, really. Flower arrangements on the dining room table, for example, are very nice, but they are not a hillside of trillium appearing overnight in spring. Commercial pop music can be a lot of fun, but even the best of it is nothing alongside Yo-Yo Ma playing solo in the dark in the high altitude Atacama Desert of Chile. But even Yo-Yo Ma is nothing alongside the song sparrow in spring, or a chorus of purple martins bedding down for the night. These are sounds we can put in the background and enjoy while doing other things, but on occasion, we hear them. We really, truly hear them. And then we have a physiological response. Beauty, the spiritual dimension of beauty, stimulates a physiological response in us. It's powerful, magical almost. It's that it is nothing different than normal, and yet suddenly we are different in response to it. How am I doing? Do you know the experience of beauty I'm talking about? If so, then you probably know this thing I want to share with you, but that I don't really know how to share. It has a very, very, very dull name, a domesticated, tasteless name. Community. Yeah, right? Community. What does that communicate? Oh, look at that beautiful community over there. Plus, we use it to mean so many different things. Our town, a group of professionals, an interest group. But those are not what I'm pointing to. So let me break it down. Come together, jointly. Unus, Latin meaning one, oneness. Among all those domesticated, ordinary experiences of what we call community, we stumble into something that triggers a physiological response in us, something akin to love, something like apprehending beauty, but also something both exquisitely sweet and poignantly troubling, because it requires wading through a pool of shared woundedness. It is a oneness that happens, blooms all of a sudden. That is what I mean by community or communis, or entering oneness together. It does not just happen because we want it to. It does not just happen because we plan it. It does not just happen because we're good at it. It does not just happen because we say it should. It does not just happen because we prescribe it. It does not just happen because we gather. It happens like beauty does when we're open to it and looking and listening for it. And then a fortunate rendering of events brings us together and the presence of the sacred blooms. It blooms among us, within us. In other words, we cannot make it happen, but we can do stuff to invite it. We can also do stuff to hinder it. No doubt we have done both, together and separately. Now here is a word to those of you out there in internet land, people I don't know. Some of you I do know, but I don't get to see very often. Finding community, encountering communis, is not done easily. It requires all the yucky, aggravating, stupid, ridiculous, onerous, messy parts of hanging out with people. Take the hard work of one-on-one relationships we have held onto over time, and then throw them into the chaotic spinner of a whole group of relationships. It's just hard work. There are people in there you don't even like that much. It's like having to eat eggplant, or whatever it is you don't like to eat. That is the price of a sacred community, of encountering God in oneness together. Now, I know a whole bunch of people, many of whom I'm very close to, who have given it up or given up on it, especially when it comes to church. I'm not about to tell you that church is the only place to encounter sacred community. And there's no way I'm going to promise you that all churches are places of sacred community. But I will tell you, promise you even, because it's rooted in my own experience, that it is something that can be created wherever people gather over time and with a tenacious will to be in relationship to one another for love, especially for the love of God. I know, as I say, a lot of people who have given up, though. I understand that resignation. Family is tough enough, and then you add to that normal difficulty of being intimately interconnected with a bunch of people and folks, some that you didn't pick to be on your team and who aren't attached to you through blood or law. And it's just hard, sweaty, emotionally painful work. But everything else that looks like sacred community and isn't is just pop music compared to a song sparrow. There are all kinds of wonderful worship experiences out there, concert-style events with cool technology and elegant liturgies surrounded by gorgeous architecture. That's not sacred community. A sacred community may do those things, but encountering God in oneness with others is a whole different kind of experience. Encountering God in oneness with others is deep. It travels through our veins, and it gets into the marrow of our bones, and it rattles the insides of our brains, and it actually makes our hearts grow bigger. That's what the Feast of Pentecost symbolizes. What happened or didn't happen way back when means nothing for today. Sacred community does not live or die on the laurels of ancient experience nor the sins of institutions. It lives in the hard work of interconnectedness among a people who have chosen to act in love with one another, sharing woundedness, encountering beauty within our shared wounds, and struggling toward openness to the holy that is in our midst. Well, you see, I can't really describe it, can I? But you know it or not. You know the difference between a domesticated version of community and a truly sacred communis. I just wanted to hold it up for Thanksgiving for those who are in close proximity to it and intimately involved in its hard work, but also to commend it to those who have backed away after deciding it wasn't worth the risk. The Feast of Pentecost is a moment to celebrate sacred community and to give thanks for it. And like all celebrations, it's also a time to step back and to open ourselves to more of it. Thank you, and peace be with you.